Hi, Sands RV and Golf Resort residents. I'm coming to you with a Facebook post. Been a lot of talk about what's going on here and in construction and getting an update. And I apologize for taking so long to get these reports out, but we've been extremely busy, as a lot of you have seen. So wanted to get out and get a Facebook post out and YouTube so you guys can kind of hear what's going on. First of all, happy holidays. I know some of you have been around for Thanksgiving or but are leaving for the Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year holidays. So please travel safe if you are. If you're not and you're spending time with us, we hope you have a happy holiday for that. Let's first talk about the pool construction. That's the biggest discussion that we have right now. So when we initially said that we were waiting for permits, it took us over 7 days to get the permits. Unfortunately, there's a lot of backstory to why they took that long. It was mainly government and a lot of red tape. So with that said, the permits have been issued as of early this week, and we are moving forth. But it's just not that simple. We thought there'd be one inspection. There's going to be multiple inspections on the pools. Riverside County Planning is having us do pressure testing on the pipes that have already been pressure tested by the health department, so it's kind of frustrating for us. But without getting their signature, we can't move forward. So some of you have made some comments that you don't see anybody out there working. That's not exactly true. You might see 2 people, you might see 10 people. Depends on the activity and the job that they're doing. So as of yesterday, there was 6 guys actually out there, 2 working on pavers and 4 working inside the pool, the big pool. You might not have seen them because they were inside the pool, but they were putting the rebar in. Good news from the planning department or the inspector was that he did not require us to do anything else to the big pool, but to start the construction, which is good. So the rebar went in, and we're waiting for the next inspection, which will be Monday because they were booked up to today, Friday. And once they give us approval on that, we'll be able to start shooting the gunite, and then the cement will go in, the plaster, that so forth. The timeline will be a better timeline starting Monday will happen. On the spas, they wanted us to re-pressure test and put some more mesh in for the grounding, and so we've accomplished that. Also, we've been forced to put in permanent handicap lift chairs. We were looking at a portable lift chair, which we still think we could do, but without having to bring our attorneys in and fight that, it was much easier just to give in and say fine. I don't think aesthetically it's going to look that great, but we'll get a nice cover for those, and they'll be used obviously by individuals that need them. But that set us back because we were forced to buy a certain type of handicap lift so that we could get our permits and get signed off. So we had to wait for that to come in. It took 2 days, and we got those in. The plates are in the ground now to be inspected. Once the plates are inspected, they can pour the cement on those. So a lot of steps that have to take place on the pool. Again, this was a process that started in August. The company had agreed to reprocessing the pool and recoating the deck. And then when upper management or executive team came in, they really wanted a better pool. And since we were going to be in this type of construction, they wanted to move forth on that. So try not to sound like we're making excuses, but we are basically strapped by permits, government, and making sure it's done correctly so that the pool is yours for a long time to come. We do have some good news on the game room. The carpet's going in this weekend. That means the equipment can be delivered next week. We should have the game room back to you the week of Christmas. So I'm pretty excited about that. That means the meeting room, which is the old yoga room, which will also be available not long after that. So by the first of the year, you're going to have those 2 areas back to you and be able to get back to your activities that you like. The laundry room, the construction will not be done on the laundry room this season. It'll wait till after the season, which will make a lot of you happy. But we will be closed on Monday the 17th. That's this Monday from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock. The reason for that is we've had a lot of residents that would like to use the Apple Pay system with their phones. That is not currently working, and they're going to bring a technician in, Pride Laundry is, to fix that. So that's been a request by residents to Pride Laundry, and they are the contractor who owns the machines and does that, and that's the day that they will be here. This is not a resort close. This is a Pride Laundry close, and they will be closing the laundry from about 8 in the morning till 1 p.m. to work on that. The restrooms are almost done. We're waiting on the countertops. There's so much construction going on in the Coachella Valley that we're getting behind other projects. The countertops are being cut as we speak, and we hope to have those by the end of next week, and the restrooms back open sometime within the next 7 days. Road construction is finished. The only thing pending is a top layer of slurry, which would also be slurrying the parking lot, and eventually we will be restriping the parking lot. But we're putting that off until March, April, so that'll be when most of you are out of here or heading home, so it won't be inconvenient for you. In the future, we do plan on doing the rest of the resort, but we'll make sure that's done in the off season. Landscaping, you see a lot of landscaping finishing up. We started the landscaping on the north portion of Bubbling Wells, and that will be a very nice addition to our resort. Also, oleanders, we've narrowed it down to about 25 residents that still have dead oleanders, and the landscaper has done the audit and should start to finish pulling those out in the next week or so. And hopefully by the first of next year, after 5 years of waiting for a lot of you, you'll have those dead oleanders completely gone. As you've heard this many times, there is no budget to replant, and we don't know exactly what we're going to do there in the future. If we do put in a capital expenditure project, it will not be for another year and a half for replanting of some of the hedges. You can, if you are an annual, plant what you like in there, as long as you get it approved by management according to your rules and regulations. But once you plant, that is part of your property and will stay with your property if you sell your property or move your home. Please refer to your rules and regulations. Lot renovations in the back off of St. Andrews West. If you see that going on, that was a bigger project that the Sun Construction team came in and wanted to accomplish. They're looking at a marketing opportunity with caravans and larger buses and units that are 40 plus feet long on making super sites. The super sites will be able to have pull-throughs, so you can rent a spot as one, or it still could be used as two. A bigger plan for that expansion can go off over to St. Andrews East, but we're not exactly sure yet if that's going to happen. We're going to start with West, see how it looks after the first of the year, check reservations and marketing, and make a decision on that. Windscreens for the pickleball courts. We know a lot of pickleball players have been asking for those. Those have been proposed by multiple companies, and we're working on the best proposal, and hopefully we'll have something to give you on dates on those here real soon. Bulletin boards. We have 4 more bulletin boards, including the hiking board, that are all being relocated in the picnic area just outside the kitchen. There'll be more of a social area there where you could check all bulletin boards. There'll be an activity one, 3 golf ones, and a hiking bulletin board. Also in the pickleball courts, we'll be adding 2 bulletin boards there. I believe one will go up right away and a second one to follow. Security. We've talked a lot about a security plan. We've put in quite a few tens of thousands of dollars in new camera system, new fencing, and we've been working with security companies on other options with our company. I'll talk more about that in the resident meeting at the end of the month, but for right now, just reassure that we're doing everything we can. We ask that you do lock your golf carts up. We did have 3 stolen one night. We really do encourage any kind of activation switches that can shut them down. They're pretty inexpensive to install. Make sure that your golf carts are locked up. Not only are they hitting our resort, but they're hitting Hidden Springs and other resorts in our area. And they're taking golf carts, and before you know it, they're stripped down and they're gone. So there's not much you can do about it. The sheriff's department, we do have a new sheriff deputy out here that's been working with us, and he encourages everybody to make sure you take a picture with your phone or write down your VIN numbers on your golf carts. So if they do find them, they can refer back and be able to match that up. They did find a golf cart recently from another resort that was stolen, but even though it was identified by the individuals that was theirs, there was no paperwork to prove it. And I know some of you buy used golf carts, but just take a quick picture of the VIN number, which should be stamped on the inside of the frame somewhere or inside near the engine. That will help out a lot if they do recover your stolen property. Rangers, we have rangers on from usually in the early afternoon, escorting vehicles all the way till the night ranger comes on at 8 o'clock. If you ever have to get a hold of the ranger after hours, it's 760-413-7631. If they don't answer, they might be escorting somebody or away from their phone for a minute. Please leave a message or call again immediately. But if this has to do with an emergency that you think of somebody doing something they shouldn't be doing in our resort, stealing something, an individual that doesn't look right, call 911 immediately. We're sometimes very fortunate to have the sheriff not far away from us and they can get here very quickly. Other times they're pretty far away and it's going to take some time to get here. So if you get a chance, please call that first. We had our first resident advisory committee. If you haven't heard of this, I asked that we put together a few residents to be able to advise management on some of the issues in the resort. As you know, that we don't live here, but we live here. We're here 7 days a week almost, my wife and I, and we do a lot of the internal work, and we do hear a lot of the issues, but not always. And so, a resident advisory committee, this is an opportunity for residents to be able to voice their opinion on things, and maybe a committee come up with some ideas on how management and the residents can work together to make solutions to these issues. With that said, they had their first meeting. I'm going to have more on that at the resident meeting at the end of the month, and how we're going to form that committee and how it's going to work. The resident meeting this month will be on the 28th of this month, which will be the last Thursday of this month at 10 a.m. We're looking in the future to do multiple times. This next one will be at 10 a.m. and then the one following in January will be multiple days or multiple times. People have asked to have more of a Sun vision. What does Sun Community's vision is their vision for this resort? So I'm going to kind of go through that in a PowerPoint of what their vision is for this resort. Visions for Sun obviously changes depending on the type of resort that it is. Sun owns 130 RV resorts across North America, and some of them are family, some of them are all ages, and some of them are 55 and older. So this one kind of fits in that 55 and older category, but in the south of, which is a winter resident kind of resort. So we'll kind of go through that and what our vision is for the future and what we're looking to accomplish. With that said, Victoria and I wish you happy holidays. If we don't see you or hear from you, be safe, and we will see you very soon.